as any like profile photos though. Dude, this is working even worse than before.
Yeah, it's not good.
It doesn't even take me to my homepage.
That's a good place to start. Like it's so broken now.
Yeah,
It's nothing
that
like
is a
it
good
used to
place to
be.
start. MySpace is very broken now.
Who bought it all those years ago?
I don't know.
Like I know originally it was the parent company of Fox that bought it. News Corp or something when Tom sold it.
Yeah, we should have gotten Tom to come on the
We
podcast
should
for
have
this
gotten
episode.
Tom. Watch out, Tom. We're gonna hit you up. He'll be
Hey,
like,
I
"No,
tagged him.
I'm
I
I'm
tagged him
done
in
with
his
those
I tagged
days."
him on Instagram in my photo of me and him, and he didn't respond to it.
Bummer.
He's too busy traveling the world and doing photography.
Yeah, he's living the life.
He is. He's living a life I would love.
Um, but yeah, no, it's super broken. They tried to make it very artist focused, but I don't know many artists that use it.
Well, and then they changed the layout and made it like so you're on a freaking tablet.
Yeah, and everything's broken. Like most everything is still the old stuff, and just everything is broken links. Um, we have one. I did create JAMXP of MySpace.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
I don't think I've logged into it since I created it, but it's out there, along with our other random social medias that we have created over time, like Clapper. What was that one? What everyone thought TikTok
Blue
was going
Sky.
away. What was Blue
Oh,
Sky? No,
I joined Blue
Red
Sky
Note.
as well. And
Was it
Red
Red
Note. We
Note?
tried Red Note, but it was all in, a different language and I couldn't figure that
We-
crap out.
Yeah. Out of all the current, like, I'll call them fringe social medias, uh, wouldn't it seem like Clapper does the best for us? I mean, we actually got a comment on Clapper, right?
Did we?
I think we did.
I don't
So
think
anyway,
I've
we're
gotten any
we're here to talk about MySpace, um, not Clapper and other fringe,
other random apps out there.
other random apps. So when did you first get on MySpace? Do you remember?
I feel like it was 2000 and maybe late 2002, 2003.
Wow. Okay. So I had first heard of it. I can specifically
I
remember
think.
it was like Christmas week of '03 that I first heard of it. I had a friend ask me like, "Oh, are you on MySpace?" And I was like, "I don't even know what the heck you're talking about." I don't think I joined MySpace until like spring of '04 would be my guess.
Yeah, I was on earlier, I think. I think it had to be like 2003 because that was the first year I went to Warp Tour. So then I kind of like that was back when I was like part of chat rooms and stuff
Yeah.
when it came to bands. And you met people through chat rooms and all that. And then they were like, oh, you should join MySpace or something. And so I
Yeah.
joined it.
Like MySpace was great when I first, I mean, and we're talking like we joined before you could custom HTML your page. Believe it or not, there was a time before you could do that on MySpace.
There was a time.
But there was nothing like getting when you're first on, and of course you're always friends with Tom no matter what. But the way that you grew your friends and just like everybody wanting to be friends with you was pretty great. Like it grew so fast. I feel like from joining until I'm just going to put it at the next year, I easily had over like 1,000 MySpace friends, and you were in there somewhere
Yeah, I was.
at some point. I don't know how you would have came up.
Well, there's speculation on how
There's
we
there's
originally
speculation.
met.
I'm telling you, it makes more sense the other way.
The other way.
Unfortunately, it makes more sense that we met that way and then connected
Oh,
through AIM and then became friends on MySpace.
yeah, it does. That we met on hotornot.com. I'm sure some people will remember hotornot.com.
I think it still exists. I think we've talked about that before too, but I'm not about to go try and pull it up.
No,
Um,
I'm sure my profile's way gone from by now.
maybe it's still got your AIM.
It
Uh,
could. I should try and download AOL Messenger.
So do you ever think there was a time while you were on MySpace that where you're like, holy crap, this is getting big? Like looking back now, because
Looking
I'm
back
sure
now, yeah. I mean, when it started getting bigger is when you could like make a top 50, instead of a
that was
top
so
8.
ridiculous. But you used to not even be able to control like a top eight. Like that was a later feature. That was like I don't know if Tom was gone already or not by then. I want to say he was.
I don't think
Uh,
he was.
when did top eight come into play?
I don't know, man.
I gotta.
I feel like it was always there.
No, I don't think. I gotta look it up because I don't.
Uh-oh.
I don't think it was. We're already googling shit, and we're only a
We're
couple
so
of minutes
unprepared
in.
for this, apparently.
Well, listen. Remembering an exact date that a feature was introduced on MySpace.
It's
When
true.
did MySpace introduce?
The top 8.
The top eight feature. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was around in late '04, early '05.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
Dang.
Because then you would kind of like, that was about the time like myself and my 3 friends started the not the podcast, the online magazine. And we would put like bands on our top 8 on our magazine site, So,
I used to do the same thing, but I didn't have anything like that. I would just, if you remember on MySpace, it was huge for bands to make like those little banners
mm-hmm.
that were like 10 pixels by like 110. And okay, those proportions aren't right, but it was something like that. And I had so many on my page, and then as I discovered new music, I'd put them on my top eight. For a little while, I did have a like little music promotion group. We put on a show or two. Um, but I worked with some bands, local, a couple in Jersey. Um, yeah, that was that was the time. If you remember the band Thieves and Villains, I'm pretty sure they were on Victory for a hot minute.
I don't remember that band.
I worked with them. I worked with a band in Watertown, Forever Falls Through. I worked with Can You Keep a Secret? They were out of New Jersey. Um, yeah, it was good times. Actually, I believe I don't remember. I can't even remember the show that I put on. That's pretty sad. But eventually, I got a couple friends to help out with it. Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, so you're
Uh,
talking about MySpace banners and stuff, and I'm like, MySpace did have us like a cover photo. So in all actuality, like, didn't they? Yeah,
I
you had a
don't.
cover.
You had a cover photo on MySpace? I thought that it was just like a background image that you could throw back there. I don't remember there being a cover photo.
Well, maybe I'm just thinking of Facebook too much.
Maybe.
I thought they did at one point though.
Uh, they did feature cover photos on profiles known as a banner or background image.
Yeah, the banner, and then you had to like work your HTML magic to like put stuff below the banner.
Yeah, that okay, so I do kind of remember that. I mainly just remember going in and doing all my HTML. So if anyone listening wasn't around for the MySpace days, and we all say we were like master HTML coders, to an extent that was probably true. I think a lot of us got it off of those customized pages. Like they had pre-existing HTML, and they were
They
like,
did.
put the hyperlink that you want for this image to be here and all that other stuff. So you could learn that way, or you could have just kind of figured it out as you went along. I
I
think
actually had a book.
you had an HTML coding book.
I had a book that had HTML stuff in it because my dad's wife, she had an HTML book and she let me use it. But I did look up like other things. I can still remember how to do the, like bold and unbold and all that crap.
Well, yeah, that's just the caret and the B and the slash B. And do you
Yep.
yeah, I still remember all the things to get like the little emoticons into the HTML, like and hearts semicolon would give you a heart.
Yep.
Um,
Or if you wanted to like put a link in something or make some text flash, There was all sorts
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah,
Or add a
and
photo into your background. I had a lot of added photos.
same. As a matter of fact, not too long ago, I was going through, and I talked about this on our interview with Gina Fontanella. I actually found my old HTML coding. Maybe if I am able to locate it, I'll put a little video of me scrolling through it right here so you can see what kind of hot mess it looked like. And to people not like used to HTML, it kind of does just look like a hot mess. Um,
I wonder if there's a site you can go online that you could enter all that HTML in and it'll show you what it would be.
that would be super awesome.
Now we're gonna have to look that up. I
We
don't have my
are.
HTML, but although I'm not gonna lie, if I could get on my other external hard drive, it might be on there. But unfortunately, I can't get on that other external because it was the last time I used it was a Mac, and I don't have a Mac computer, and it will not open on my Windows computer.
That would be pretty sweet. I did a quick Google. Someone on Reddit apparently found a way to make it happen. I'll look into it. If I find a way to make that happen, right now my MySpace page will pop up. If I don't figure it out, then you're not seeing anything, and I'm just talking.
But yeah, we should probably talk about these photos.
Yeah. So Jess and I went through our old MySpace photos, and we're just gonna kind of pull them up and go through them. Do you want to go through yours first, or are we going to alternate? How do you want to do this?
We can alternate.
We can alternate. All right. I better pull up because you put them in a drive. I better pull it up so I can see what you're talking about.
So many golden ones in there. I don't
Golden. They're
know.
golden. Let's start from the top. Your favorite band to see live.
These are in no particular order on this,
Yeah, mine either. Mine came out of
especially because
order.
it's like that Guar picture is like super further down the rabbit hole, you know?
So tell me about this Guar photo.
Oh man, Flatius Maximus. That's his name. He actually passed away. Rest in peace, Flatius Maximus.
You just brought this down so fast.
Hey, but at
So
least I have a photo with him.
so when was that? What?
That, mm, probably, that actually might be later, like 2007, 2008-ish.
Okay.
Could be even later.
How'd you get suckered into it? Since you so
I
well,
didn't
I
get
say
suckered
suckered.
into anything. I went to the show that they were doing in Chicago with my friend Jenny because we were both still Victory Records street teamers. And so we got in free to that show. I think was it Sounds of the Underground? It was something like that. I think it was Sounds of the Underground, but I don't remember. I honestly don't remember which one it is. If I could have my MySpace and I could find it on MySpace,
You'll
it would
know
be
everything.
it would be captioned.
All right, so I'll go to my first one here. Um, at the very top, the first one that came through the chat. These are in completely random order that Zoom decided to send them to you. So that first one, that's 2007. That's actually while I was doing some of that music promotion stuff. Which, by the way, I guess I can shout out my old one. Pick up your feet promotions. Yes, it was named after a line from an A Day to Remember song. Um,
Yep, look at that emo hair.
I know. And this was actually after uh, I did merch table for Forever Falls Through up in Watertown. And afterward, I went to my girlfriend's dorm at the time. And this is actually taken on the crapper in the men's dorm room bathroom. So
Mm,
at like
fun
two
times
at like 2 a.m., mind you,
at 2 a.m.
at 2 a.m. And that's the
Party
story about
animal.
that.
Party
Yeah,
animal.
straight party animal.
I have so many photos on here. I don't know which ones I should talk about.
What about the very next one with
That's Judas from Matchbook Romance.
match book romance?
Matchbox Romance? Wait, matchbook. What? You got me all confused here
You
now.
you had a space between match and book. You're like match book romance.
Sometimes my elder emo brain thinks of Matchbox romance, like like instead of Matchbox 20,
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
screws me up. I'm like, why do they have to have such a similar like name? And I'm like, no, 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 I should know this because Matchbook romance is like my top one in my top five.
So where was this? Because let me just say, he looks super comfy in his jacket, and then you are just straight in a hoodie.
It's my maid hoodie, my Good Charlotte maid hoodie. Yeah, this was in Chicago, I
Was it?
believe.
Well, one of you is more prepared for a Chicago winter, it looks, than the other.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to wear my coat into the metro because I'm pretty sure that's where this picture was taken in the metro parking area where they had the bands park.
What
Because
did
I
you?
also have a picture further down probably of me and Andrew from Matchbook Romance. Somewhere down there.
Somewhere down there.
I had a big crush on him back in the day.
Not
But then
anymore.
again,
That crush is dead.
I mean, I'm a married woman.
That doesn't
He got
doesn't
real
mean it can't.
cozy in his photo with me though.
Ooh. Speaking of cozy in a photo, my next photo, I am not cozy at all. I'm doing like the limbo in the bath.
In the bathtub
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was an attempt to, be seductive. I don't know.
for your hot or not profile.
Probably for my hot or not profile. I look very uncomfortable. I was obsessed with sepia toned photos, as you can tell in that
Yeah.
one.
Is it
Um,
sepia or sepia?
I don't know, and I don't care.
It's
I
kind
know
of
what
like
you're.
that age-old question, sepia or sepia? Just like Seosin or Seoshin.
Listen, either way, I know what you're saying.
Yes.
So it's like, but anyway, I really miss that America shirt because that was a really sweet shirt. Um, but anyway, which one do you want to talk about next?
I mean, the next two are kind of similar photos, but that was
Yeah.
I think that was Valentine's Day show at the Beat Kitchen in Chicago when Halifax was playing and they were playing with the Fully Down. And yeah, that's Doug from Halifax and Gab from the Fully Down. And after these two photos were taken, they were a little intoxicated and they kissed. We
That must
dared
have
them to
been
kiss and they kissed.
that must have been a sight. Man,
I have a picture. I have a picture of that too.
the Fully Down, talk about a underappreciated band.
I know, right? Ugh.
I
I
haven't
used to
thought.
keep in touch with Gab for a long time, and then he got married and had a kid, and then I think he got divorced, but he lost touch with me. I used to try and email him back and forth every now and then. He did a solo thing at one point, and I got that. He actually sent me the CD in the mail.
Yeah, I only got to see them once at Warp Tour, I think.
Yeah, I
But
saw them. I remember distinctly when I got to Detroit Warp Tour the year they were playing, and I thought I was gonna miss them play because they played really early, and I didn't know where any of the stages were at this Warp Tour because they changed the location and stuff, and I'm like, where the heck is this stage? And I'm just booking it, like running, because I didn't want to miss their set. But I did not miss, I don't think I missed all their set. I missed the very beginning, which is fine, I guess.
well, that's more exciting than my next photo. My next one is just me looking off camera in my parents' hallway. Um, in that
What
same
about,
America shirt. I really
oh,
miss.
what you got that other, what about the other bathtub pic?
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. That's not in order on my screen. My next one
Oh,
is.
see, I have you limboing in the bathtub, and then the next one down is you
Oh,
in the bathtub sitting on the
spoiler
side.
alerts. Spoiler alerts. We'll get to that one. That was like one of my top like commented and liked photos on MySpace.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Which ones you want to talk about next? I got Someone playing, is that a
How about we
bass?
talk about Nah, yeah, that's Mike Herrera.
The thumbnail cuts off his head. Um,
Well,
oh yeah,
yeah.
okay. And then the very next one is him again. So wait, is it? Wait,
Yeah, it's him.
okay, that's what I thought.
They're two different shows though.
Yeah, I was gonna say wardrobe change, but
The one I'm pretty sure is at the Metro, and then the other one is Warp Tour. But I try to see MXPX anytime I could. I love MXPX. They are one of my gateway bands.
gateway bands better than a gateway drug.
I was going to talk about my melon picture. That was a popular one, and I had that as a profile
Yeah,
photo.
we'll get to your melon. we'll get to,
We'll get to your melons.
we'll get there. Out of context clip right there. Oh
This
gosh.
is us.
So my next one, you can tell it's like spring, right? Because the trees haven't really, what is it, bloomed, blossomed, budded, whatever the heck you want to
Butted.
call it. But this was, I think this was right around when my hair was the longest. I had a friend that had his own clothing company for a little while called 315 Hardcore. And that was one of his shirts. So, um, yeah, I really liked that shirt, but I had this habit of like deodorant pit stains, and that shirt just
Mm,
got ruined. Um, man, I miss that one. But yeah, that was, I'm gonna say that was 2007. That was spring of '07. That seems about right.
yeah.
Down at the park, yeah, with all the geese shitting all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of shit, no, I was kidding. The shit all over my car this morning.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was a lot of shit.
And it wasn't just my car. My husband's and the neighbors got hit too.
Y'all got bombed.
Bombed by like something. I don't know. I'm gonna guess it was like seagulls or something.
That seagull shit.
I don't know. They like to fly overhead, going to the dump. They take a dump as they're going to the dump.
Love it. What's your next picture here?
I don't know. What one do you want to talk about? What one
Let's
looks fun?
the blood. Let's go with the blood.
Oh yeah, that was Aiden.
Dang, I don't think
Will
I
from
had ever
Aiden.
yeah, I don't think I had ever seen them live.
I saw them multiple times, but that was because I was also street teaming and doing the pod and not I keep saying podcast and
Oh
doing
my
the online
gosh.
magazine. That's why I have such awesome photos. Yeah, he hit himself in the head with the microphone and then he just
Kept
kept
going.
going. Because, you know, head wounds gush a lot. He
Yeah,
was
that
fine.
it looks pretty. So is the first picture where he's crouched down, is that right after he smacked himself?
I don't think so. But maybe. Could have been. And it just so happens he decided to wear all white that show.
Yeah, that was a great
Because he used to
outfit
swing the
choice.
mic around, and that's the chances you take when you swing mics around.
Dang, but that must have been some high velocity mic swing.
Yeah. But you know, it could have been just a little tiny nick because
That's true.
head
That's all
wounds
it
bleed a
takes.
lot.
Yeah. And it kept going.
But it made for some killer ass pictures.
Heck yeah. So my next one, with me with my hand on the wall. I actually remember the caption I had on this photo, which was from a June song. I believe it was "As the flames dance up the walls, you start to feel the heat against your back." And um, my wife said this was her favorite of my MySpace photos. I do look. This is okay. Out of all the pictures, out of all the ones that I'll even go through, when it comes to actually looking scene slash emo, this is the ultimate. This one will probably take the cake out of all of them.
Out of
Uh,
all
the
your emo-ness.
the other ones are emo scene, MySpace era, but it's something I usually do something a little funny or playful in them. This one was just straight.
That one
All
was
I'm
just you trying to work the angles.
all I'm missing is the snake bites. Um,
Yeah, you needed those snake bites. They were very popular back in the MySpace days.
I wanted them, but
Me
nah.
too.
All right, let's get to your melons.
Hey, who still has snake bites even from like the MySpace days?
Who?
Mike Herrera.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure she's about to say Mike Herrera, but did he
Still
have them?
has them.
Did he have
Still
them
has them.
before the MySpace days? How long
Yes.
has he had those
He's
things?
had them a long time. A very long time.
Mike, comment down below because
How long have you had your snake bites, Mike?
I know you're listening to this right now.
We're gonna make a reel about this.
Yeah, tell us how long have you had your snake bites for?
Years.
Okay, now back to your melons.
Let's talk about my melons. I don't know. That was at my friend Candace's house. I think we were hanging out and having like a barbecue that day. And I brought the cantaloupe and I cut it in half and I was like, oh man, check out my melons. And so then, of course, had her take my photo holding my melons.
And
It was a
so it
very
became
popular one. I don't know why.
just holding some cantaloupes like a normal person. Gosh. What about your next one? I can't tell who that is in the half argyle sweater.
The half Argyle sweater. What Argyle sweater? These are not in the right order.
Um
Oh, the one with the orange background?
yeah.
Yeah, that was my friend Tim. He was in a band called Welton.
Okay.
He's no longer with us, though.
Oh, he looked very serious. At least in that photo, he looks very
Yeah,
serious.
he unfortunately, you know, it was like 2005, I think, is when he passed.
Oh, wow.
He suffered from depression. So, I mean, a lot of people do, but I really do wish people would try and talk to someone before they make that choice to take their own life.
Absolutely. Reach out to anybody and somebody.
Even a
It's
stranger. Reach out to a stranger,
it's usually the people you least expect to
right?
understand what you're going through that understand.
And it's usually the people you least expect who are actually hurting the most.
Yep. Yeah, and unfortunately like the best examples because it's more in the public eye. I mean like Robin Williams and everybody. So I mean there's Jim
Right?
Carrey. Um I mean Jim Carrey didn't make that decision, but from what I understand he was very close. So um it's never who you expect. But reach out to anybody.
Yeah, this just took a deep turn.
I know. It's all
Sorry,
right.
we weren't
Well,
trying to make it this deep.
it's okay. We'll talk about the photo now that you wanted to talk about is the other bathtub picture. This one was probably um my most liked and commented photo on MySpace. Um, aside from the very first profile picture I put on MySpace. So this is actually kind of like the second most, but this photo was taken early '06, late '05, and there's something about like the white aesthetic of everything around me. I've got the dark shirt on and that purple loofah just really pops. Um, this one I remember the caption for as well. This one was a Still Remains lyric, which was "These white walls are taking me." Yeah, I. It's weird that I can remember what those captions were.
I don't remember any of my captions.
As a matter of fact, I know we talked about it being broken at the top, but I'm pretty sure even though the photos are broken, the captions on MySpace still exist on the photos. None of the photos work, but the captions are still there.
I was just looking at mine and I clicked on a photo and it wouldn't even bring up any captions.
Oh,
It's even more broken now.
day by day,
I
we break
know.
it more. But yeah, for this was like I'm gonna say this was probably taken on like a what would I have had back then? I think this was like a 5 megapixel Kodak Easy Share camera. For most of my photos, these were all like Kodak Easy Share. I was a like very big Kodak camera person. It's probably because Rochester's down the street and that's where they were out of. But yeah, shout out Kodak. I actually just got a new point and shoot that's a Kodak, even though it's owned by someone in Japan now. Um, yeah.
Now, which photo do you want me to talk about? I'm just letting you pick my photos because then I know which ones you're talking about.
We'll go with the next two. The one okay, listen, this is gonna sound bad, but like a skinny Patrick Stump. Uh
That's Ace Enders.
okay, see you knew who I was talking about. Uh okay, I'm really bad with faces and names. And then
Obviously,
who
Warp Tour, and then the one in the
yep,
top hat is Sean from the Matches.
yep. I was gonna say I recognize that hat anywhere. Um
We might as well just go to the next one right away too.
okay,
That was
sure.
Chris Rowe from the Ataris.
And shout out Chris Rowe, right? So get your butt on our podcast.
Yeah, Chris, come on. You said you'd come on.
Okay, let's do your next two as well.
I have a lot of photos.
Yeah, you've got a lot more than I've put in, and mine are all me. By the way, I'll pop up some here and a couple over here and maybe over there. A couple of my like concert photos and other things. I'm mainly sharing ones that were selfies of like my profile pictures on MySpace. But I had
Yeah,
a lot of
unfortunately, I didn't save a lot of my profile photos.
yeah, I have a lot of concert photos that I'd put up on there, mainly through like the blog posts that MySpace had. But I'll share some from that time too. I'll just pop them in randomly and
Well, you want to talk about the next two I had then? The next one was, I believe, if you're looking at the same photos, it's Sean and Justin. No,
wait,
Sean and John. Oh my gosh. Whew. Justin's next to him in the next photo.
Sean and John wasn't Sean John a clothing?
I think so. Maybe. Nope, Sean and John, because they were doing a acoustic set outside in Rockford, I believe, after their show. And you know how they always were famous for doing acoustic sets.
Yep, yep.
And then the photo next to it is Justin doing his leprechaun jump, because that's what I call it.
For anyone who doesn't know, what bands are we talking about?
The matches.
There you go. You have so many fun. All right, let's go with the next two
The next
concert
two,
ones.
the next two concert ones, those are both
Yeah.
Bayside.
Wow, that was fast.
Warp
A
Tour.
Warp Tour. Yep, I can tell it's a Warp Tour.
I think they were taken the same exact day because
Same
Anthony's
shirt.
wearing the same shirt.
Yep.
But then again, that's not a given because, bands wore the same shirts a lot of days in a row sometimes at Warp Tour.
So my next photo. Um. Oh gosh, I took a lot at the park. If you can't tell. So this one was actually that I bleach dyed myself and then wrote 315 on because Syracuse pride, yo.
Woo, yeah,
Um.
you love Syracuse so much.
I do, and my hair is pretty long here. I don't think it's as long as it was up above, where I had the bleached streak in the front and the rest
I
was
don't know, it
black.
looks pretty
It's
long.
pretty
The
close. It's pretty
bangs look
close.
longer than the back.
Yeah, and I stopped dyeing my hair at some point. There is something on my microphone. Okay, whatever. But I stopped dyeing my hair at one point, and that's when I was also led on to the fact that you're not really supposed to wash your hair with shampoo every day. So then my hair actually took a lot more of the emo boy look with the little messy, slightly greasy. But that long hair did not last very long. I want to say this was probably not late '07. Um, we're probably pushing May or June of 2007. Look at that, all shaved and stuff.
Hmm? How times have changed.
Yeah, and the kicker is for my next photo that I'm going to talk about, we actually jumped back in time by like 2 years. But let's go to your next one is iconic. I mean,
The iconic picture of me and Tom from MySpace.
yeah, he looks so happy.
He was happy. I mean, he was at a MySpace party in Chicago wearing his Von Dutch hat. He wasn't
Is that
puking in a toilet.
is the next photo also from the MySpace party?
No, the next photo is from the bottom lounge, and that's when From First to Last was playing. And
Okay.
that's Sonny Moore in the middle,
Yep.
doing whatever the heck he was doing. I don't know what he was doing there with his arms up in the air.
Yeah, I don't listen. We don't need reasons for who's giving the bunny ears.
I have no idea. There's
And
bunny
they,
ears?
yeah, there's bunny ears, and they were very, very high. I,
Maybe they
it
were just
doesn't.
doing peace.
I don't know. That looks very purposeful.
I don't know. I don't
Bunny
remember that.
ears.
I just don't know what Sonny was doing with his arms. You know what's funny though? My friend on the very right, she had a lot of band guys and phone numbers, and she actually has Sonny Moore's number, and she gave it to me. I have random band guys' numbers in my phone. And actually, I Googled it the other day, the phone number, and it still comes out like James Moore, like his dad's
Wow.
phone number.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, what if it was still this like this home line that they still have?
Give it a call. See what happens.
That would be funny.
Yes, I'm
Right
looking for
now. Let's call it
Sunny.
right now.
Let's do it. That's
No.
content right there.
Should we call it, everyone? You should tell us. Should we call it? We'll call it one time on air. Well, in a video chat.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll go live on Instagram and
Call this random
call
number and
call the
see who
random number.
actually answers.
Yeah, that'd
What
be
do you mean this
something.
isn't Sunny? He goes by Skrillex now.
So my next photo, this was behind my friend Amanda's house at the railroad tracks that are it's right by my house now too. Um, I don't know, it was just a marker that was saying it was going west, and I made a W sign with my hand, and I very quickly found out that the sign was not very secure, and it fell over after I let go of it.
Oops.
And we dismantled it, and I don't know where the W went. I think my friend Amanda might have it or did have it. Um, but yeah, so
West Side.
they're never gonna know that they're traveling west anymore.
I think they can figure it out.
I don't know.
I'm
It's
sure
pretty
they
hard.
replaced it.
I'm gonna go check tomorrow.
You should take a picture of it, recreate that photo.
Recreate that would be something.
You should
Um,
go to some of these places and recreate these MySpace photos.
oh, that would be so funny. If I get a chance to do some of them,
You can do the one in the bathtubs, the bathtub ones.
if I get a chance to do it before this episode goes up, what in a week from now, not even, I will put them at the end of this video. Um,
How about I should go? I don't know if I still have that shirt. No, I don't think I still have that shirt. I was gonna say I can recreate my melon photo.
I don't have that Black Label shirt anymore. I for sure don't have those pants. Um, those were those were my friend Amanda's pants, so I know I don't have them. Because keep in mind, this was like back before skinny jeans really. This was like '05, by the way. So this was back before skinny jeans really started coming in for guys. So those were indeed my friend Amanda's pants. And two of those belts were her. The one on the bottom is a butterfly buckle, and then that white belt I think was hers. The top one was mine. Um,
Ah, yes, the double belt face.
hey, this was triple belt.
We
Thank
all
you.
went. Oh, you have triple. You
I
went all
did.
out. You went
I did.
extra.
I did it kind of to be ironic. I never really did it unless I was like gonna take a MySpace photo just for funsies. I never like I didn't go to a show with it or anything like that that I recall.
Well, I wore two belts to shows all the time. One was
Man,
for holding your pants up. The other one was just for look.
yeah, what a time we lived in. Multiple belts.
See,
Let's
but I
bring
always off-centered my belts too. They were all
so
buckled to the side.
yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second. I think at least one more with more than one belt. Um, but I forgot what I was gonna say. We should. I okay. It may sound maybe I'm just being nostalgic. I like the look. Like I legitimately think it looks good to have like the more than one belt, like one to actually be functional and the other one for fun. Like,
Yep.
why not?
Get
People
to
wear
match
fanny
the belts
packs. I can wear
together.
multiple belts.
Yep. Why the hell not? I still wear a studded belt till this day. Until the day I die,
Uh,
I will wear a studded belt.
for yourself.
Yep.
Do I have a studded belt? I don't think I have a studded belt anymore. I've got a pink like double eyelet belt somewhere. In case anyone is wondering if I haven't said it before, my two favorite colors are royal blue and then pink. So I, especially in high school, before I discovered my love for royal blue, everything was pink, glitter pink, pink everything, as far as accessories went. But now, if I get a chance, if there's a good looking shirt or something and it's pink, I'm grabbing it. Um, Heck yeah. So your next photo, who's open?
Who's in the open sign?
Who's in the open? That sounds creepy. That's a horror movie I would not see.
That's the singer from the Pink Spiders.
Pink spiders. Wow.
Yeah. Hot minute. They're still a band, actually. I think that
Yeah,
was
they
yeah.
are. Yep.
But that was after a Metro show. I think the open sign was for the record store that like the little store next to it.
Who's in the open sign?
Uh,
Don't enter. I don't know. Just,
well, the one
what?
next to it is Tony from Mest.
That's Tony.
Yeah, that's Tony from Mest.
Hold on. I gotta make it bigger.
You gotta make it bigger. It's a younger Tony.
I can't zoom in.
And me in my maid sweatshirt again. I wore that a lot. Pink spiders I had on my Jack's Mannequin track jacket. Track jackets were a popular thing too at one point.
Yeah. And then okay, so what about the next two? Wait, I want to try and guess who's playing the keys and trying to eat the microphone.
How can you not know who that is?
I told you I'm bad with names and faces. Is it the one I should know?
You should know.
Oh, okay.
Sandra McMahon.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
corporate.
Yeah, I was gonna say um
But I think in this photo, I think this might have been Jack's Mannequin. I'm not sure.
I've only seen two bands that play keys live, and they were not one of them. I'm so bad putting names to faces though.
What about the
Um
next photo of the one with the guy with the hand on him?
Well, this is clearly Jim Morrison back from the dead on the
No.
right.
Nope, it's William from the Academy is.
Yeah, see, I never cared for the Academy is.
I loved the Academy is.
This is a very sensual photo.
He got really into his music.
Yeah, apparently. That's a good picture though.
Mm-hmm. I took some good ones back in the day. I could see you scrolling on your TV.
Yeah, oh yeah. Look, I'm scrolling everybody. Um all right, so my next one, I don't know. Yours are so much different. I should have brought some different ones.
I'm
Um
sorry. I didn't know we were just doing profile pictures.
Yeah, we didn't specify because we threw this together in the last minute, as we always do. So my next one, I think this was like the second ever photo I'd put on MySpace. Um, by this time, skinny jeans were starting to come around, although I believe these are boot cut. They are from H&M, and they definitely had a button fly because I was all about the button fly. And of course, I'm wearing my Bam Margera Element shirt. Perfect. Gosh, I don't know what year this was, to be honest with you. Um,
I don't even know which photo you're talking about.
I'm up against the wall.
In a hallway with three doors.
No, there's two doors. There's a blue one and a wooden looking one. Oh,
Ah, that one.
yeah. Bam Margera, Element shirt, bootcut jeans, H&M, button fly. This might have been late '05.
Biting your
Oh,
lip too, I think.
I know.
Mm,
I was so sexy.
he was trying to
Uh,
be.
but yeah, no, I don't know. Is that my parents' house? I don't
You're
know what
trying
to
to be
say.
sexy at your parents' house?
Listen, that was how I was back in the day.
It's
You,
true. If you watch the MySpace movie, mom walks in on that guy in that bathroom doing all the
it's
angles in the bathroom.
all about the angles. All right, so you're next two. We
I
got
mean, my next two, if we're going, these are concert photos mostly until you get to some other stuff. There's some doubles in here apparently too.
okay. So who's doing the stretching?
Who's doing the stretching? Acceptance. The band Acceptance. I forget what his name was.
Yeah, I saw them once a long time ago.
And then the
Um,
green photo, you should know who that is.
might be able to tell you, but I can't because of the distortion. Is it Shane?
It is. It's Shane from Silverstein.
His hand is giving me anxiety with the way that he's holding it.
I mean, I don't know what song it was. Might as
You
well go to
know,
the next one too.
you know how he picked it out was the jawline.
Yeah. You get like, Shane's jawline.
Oh, I know Shane's jawline. Uh,
Uh,
all right, the next one with the light in the back.
Sum 41. Derek.
Yep, you can't mistake that flat nose anywhere. And the sweatband.
It's true. But I loved how I caught the light going around him.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Your pictures came out better than mine when I did Concertville, but then again, I only had like a 2 megapixel point and shoot. Um,
I also had a photo pass.
I had a photo pass. All right, my next photo was my very first MySpace photo. I think before this, I didn't even have a picture. So back in the day, they would have cars on display in a mall, and for some reason, they had a ton of Saturns in the mall near me, and I pretended like I got hit by a Saturn Ion 2 in a beautiful white. Um, for some reason, I really, really, really wanted a Saturn Ion 2. I don't know why, but I really liked it. I'm glad I didn't get one because I've heard they were pieces of shit.
Hey,
Um,
there's still some Saturns on the road.
somehow made of plastic. That's why.
There's one when I go to work. There's a guy that works in another business right by my work and he drives the Saturn. I was like, "Holy crap, it's still alive."
Yeah, and I know there was a Saturn sports car. I see a lot of those around still. But yeah, anyway, so that was my very first one. My friend Nicole took that picture of me, not my wife Nicole. It was a different Nicole. And of course, I'm wearing a Fall Out Boy shirt. Um,
Good old fob.
it was like one of their very first shirts that I think they had out in Hot Topic.
Yeah.
So
I think I distinctly remember this photo.
probably it's so,
How could you not? I mean, you're pretending to get hit by a car, so.
yeah. What? And I'm wearing Converse All Stars. What the hell am I? I'm in all black. I've got a checkered black and white belt, I'm pretty sure. And then yeah, and then I've got white and blue Converse All Star.
Yeah, fashion.
Actually, those shoes are pretty sick. Um anyway, let's talk about your next one cuz mine are so that photo time frame, I think I just said it. I think it was like summer of '04.
Yeah, I don't remember when the time frame of a lot of these photos are of mine. I don't know if you still want to talk about more of my concert ones or
Yeah,
if you
let's
want me to
do
talk about more.
no, let's do some concert. So we got dueling guitars over here.
Atreyu.
Yeah, I know.
Good
Gotta
old
love your angry
Atreyu.
music. That
Ugh.
that the guitar is overselling it a little bit with the blood, fake blood, and
I loved
just
his guitar.
overselling it.
I love that guitar.
Wow, just the band jumps. Oh, by the way, this next picture, that was my wedding colors, the black and pink tie.
Yeah, the black and pink tie. Do you know
Yeah.
who that is?
No.
Sugar Cult.
Oh, I told you I'm not going to be able to put.
But the Sugar Cult show was actually that was when they played Summerfest. And then I might as well keep going and get rid of these band photos, Like the
Yeah,
next one
we
down,
can fly
it's
through.
like a weird, crazy, artsy one I try to do. That was at Norma Jean.
Oh man, those were some shows that Norma Jean put on.
And then
Ooh,
the
look at that green.
and then the next green one is Steven from Amberlin.
Look at that. Nobody's got like an Apple Watch on or anything stupid. Just perfect.
Nope.
Oh man, who could this next picture be? Definitely not the matches.
Which one are we talking about? I said I had some doubles in here.
I know. I'm just going through an order. Okay, so now you're all in a box.
We're in a
Or
box.
someone's got a plunger, maybe.
Are you talking about this one in like someone's hallway?
It's in a hall. It looks like y'all are in a box.
This was
Yeah.
after a show. Myself and my friends went up to the UP, Marquette, Michigan, to the university. They were having a show. The matches were playing the show, and our friends in Basio, who were a Milwaukee band, opened for them, and yeah, we got invited to a house party afterwards.
Sweet. Okay, now that I zoom in, it's some kind of tumbler, it looks.
It is a
Not a
tumbler.
plunger. If I zoom out, I can't see that black around the highlight, and it looks like a white stick with like a black plunger end. I'm like, dang, who's got the sweet plunger?
I have so many photos. We should probably get through more of mine because I don't think there's many to talk about yours.
According to the scroll wheel, we're about equal.
We're about equal, all right.
Yep.
Do you want to talk more about yours or keep talking about mine?
I guess we'll talk about mine.
Okay.
Um, my next one. Now we're really jumping. This was January of '07. My friends and I took a trip out to California, just like as friends, and we all got a kind of like a condo. It was like a two-bedroom condo, and we all wanted to go to college out there. So we're like, okay, so let's just check it out. Let's check out this one school. They had a program that each of us were interested in, but they were all different programs. Now, the person with me in this photo is my friend Jess Webb. We're still good friends today. We don't talk quite as much as we did back then, but this is the first time that I met her, and we had been friends on MySpace for um, oh gosh, I want to say like 3 years at that point. She was probably one of the first friends I'd met, and somehow I had snuck through the cracks. So she was one of those like semi-famous MySpace people. She had over 10,000 friends. And somehow I stuck out and we stayed friends in the midst of like everybody just adding her as a friend. Um, but yeah, shout out to Jess. I'm gonna send this clip to you somehow. Um,
Somehow, some
we
way.
got to see each other. It's been almost 20 years. Damn it, we gotta hang out again. I know we both have two kids now, but
I
um,
mean, you and I have never met in person and it's been like 20 years.
I know it's been like 21 years, depending
Something
on
like
if it was
that.
hot or not, or if it was MySpace.
It was hot or not. I'm sorry.
There's but anyway, the photo was taken in California in the condo. That's the kitchen in the condo. Um, yeah. Actually, funny story about when she came to hang out because her boyfriend at the time had driven her from LA. We were in San Diego, and it was like an hour and a half ish drive or something like that. And on the way down, I guess he got super, super pissed off because he had an H2, which were known for like easily shattering their windshield. And a rock flew up and broke his windshield. So while we were hanging out, I believe he went to get the windshield fixed while we were hanging out. But he was pissed. But yeah, Well, it's a funny story now. I guess it wasn't back then, but
Wasn't
yeah,
funny then.
now funny
Now it's
then.
funny.
There
You want
is
me to,
there is also an alternative angle of this photo. If I can find it, I'll stick it right here. Jess had sent it to me, and I didn't know it had existed, and she sent it to me a few years ago. I'm like, where the hell did this photo come from? But yeah. Anyway, go ahead with yours.
which one do you want to talk about?
Um,
The yellow shirt?
yeah, yellow shirt, thumbs up.
Yellow shirt, thumbs up. That's Omar from Hit the Lights.
Now, when I saw Hit the Lights, Omar had a much bigger fro.
Yeah, I think he had a bigger fro, but he cut it down a little. I think this is at the Beat Kitchen, if I recall. And that's my friend Jason, who also is in the photo,
Yeah,
in case you were wondering. Ah,
it
I
would have
know.
been so funny if you said, and that's my friend Jason, who was not in the photo.
Nah.
Oh,
He lived in Chicago for a bunch of years because he was going to school, but he doesn't live there anymore, so I haven't seen him in years.
oh, where's he live now?
I want to say California somewhere. San Diego, San Francisco, something like that. I could be very wrong, but you want me to talk about the next one too? Since I have so many more photos than you.
Yeah, let's go all the way down to finger stash. So let's
Ah,
walk our way through all these.
well, the next one is me and my friend Erica and a BMXer named Coco Zurita.
Oh yeah, I know about Coco.
He was such a good BMXer. We met him at the state fair in Milwaukee, and we kind of became friends. And we would when they came to town with the BMX show, they we would meet up with them and stuff and hang out. But yeah, I used to love watching like BMX and skateboarding back in the day. I
Not
still like
anymore.
watching it. No, I still love watching X Games.
You know what's really painful? Not just as a side tangent. The first time skateboarding was in the Olympics, so 2021 or 2020, if you want to be specific, but it took place in 21, because COVID. Whoever they got to be the announcers for the street skateboarding competition, like, dude, they butchered it. Like, they did not describe things correctly. It was awful. And as a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I turned it off because I couldn't stand listening. But whoever they got this past year, 24, they did a much better job. I'm pretty sure they had Tony Hawk announcing some of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Back in the day, I really wanted to go to an X Games, but I never made it to one.
that would have been sweet. I wanted to go to the, oh gosh, what did they call it? Mountain Dew had a 3-stop
The
tour.
Do Tour.
Yeah, and I think for a while they called it the Dew World Series or something. I forget, but yeah, I wanted to go to the Dew tour. Um, I loved watching the Dew tour compared to X Games or even oh, what do they have now? Oh God, SLS. I think it's called SLS, Street League. But yeah, it was, I don't know. There was something about the way the Dew tour was structured. I don't know. It was more fun.
I wonder if we should split this episode into two different episodes.
We might have to, or we can just fly through because I feel like we are taking a lot of time.
We are
Sorry, everybody. We'll go through fast. Let's give them the speed run, and
trying to get the speed run.
maybe we do another episode on MySpace that doesn't have anything to do with our photos.
It's true. Good.
Okay,
Speed round.
let's let's go from your group photo down to leather jacket man,
Group photo. That is myself and a bunch of my friends with the matches. And
and
then the mustache one is my good friend Kate. Just me and her goofing off.
your mustache is very Hitler esque.
It is not. It's not small enough. It's not small enough. It'd have to be tiny. Don't even do go there, man. Don't even go
Okay.
there.
Okay. All right. Black swirls on the wall.
Oh, that's Mad Planet, a venue that still exists in Milwaukee. But yeah, that's me and my girls.
You and Boozy McGee.
That is Tom from A Day to Remember. We were
Was
buddies.
was
We were
that
buddies.
was
Me and
that like
him.
just before he left?
I feel like it might have been.
Because he wasn't in there very long. He wasn't he out by like '07?
It
No,
could have
'08 or
been.
'09.
I don't remember. I just remember that me and him had this thing. I was like, Todd, we need our photo with our fuzzy jackets, because we got to be part of the fuzzy jacket gang, the fuzzy hood jacket gang.
Let's get Tom to come on. I'll
He
call
probably
him. I'll
maybe
call him Boozy McGee right to his face.
he does producing now. He's a
He
producer.
does. He does.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
then the next one is another fuzzy hood one, and that's my friend Aaron, who was also a driver for Victory Records, and so we had to take a photo because we both had fuzzy coats, and it's the fuzzy jacket gang, duh. And then the
Uh,
next one, that's Joe from Hidden in Plainview. That is at Flipside Festival in Virginia.
wow, you got around a little bit,
Oh yeah, I
but
traveled
I'm
a
just
lot.
you and your melons.
Yep, took those melons everywhere.
Oh God. All right. So my next photo, I was obsessed with for a while suspension photography, where things just looked like they were floating. And so this girl I was dating at the time, keep in mind my room is a hot mess, in this photo, but I just took a cup of forks and threw them up in the air, and she snapped the picture as they were floating. I did not get injured. And if you are wondering, yes, that is Christina Aguilera bent over a car in a Skechers ad to the left of the photo. Um, my friend and I, when I lived in San Francisco for a bit, we scoured the streets and somebody was changing the ad at the outdoor mall. And I just asked the guy randomly, "Hey, can I have the old ad?" And he said, "Sure." I think he said sure. He spoke Spanish, and we took it and we opened it up when we got back to the apartment, and it was Christina Aguilera in a Skechers ad. I'm gonna go down to my next one. So this one was '06 at some point. I'm gonna say like fall of '06. Um, oh gosh, what was the name of this company? I can't remember the name of the company. I'm going to remember as soon as we're done talking about it. But they had it was I think it was Heartcore. Um so Heartcore clothing, they made a bunch of like emo clothing. And believe it or not, the shirt size that I'm wearing here is a large. And so as you know with like all the emo photos or like clothes, a lot of them that were like made for the scene were small because that was the thing. I got my two belts. So going back to the belts, the top one is functional. That was an Empire belt that was probably on clearance at Zoomies. And then I've got my pink colored studded leather belt for show. I told you, pink. Um, heck yeah. I feel like this one is probably pretty close to one of the more seen ones. Minus the hair. At this point, I'm getting shaggy. So, and once again, I think Christina Aguilera is lurking in the back somewhere.
She's always lurking.
She's always lurking. All
Don't
right,
you
we
wish you
can.
still had that poster?
I had it for a very long time. That one and the Christian Spitak Zoomies poster that was next to her. I had them both for a very, very long time. Um, I wish I still had the Christian Spitak one, all time favorite skater. Uh, but something got on it when we were moving and it got ruined. But yeah. Anyway, going to your
Massive amount of photos I still have left.
yeah, we'll go through like another four.
Another
Uh, we
four.
we got what? The phallic display in Washington D.C.
Yep, that's also when we went to Flipside Festival. We stopped in DC because we were like, let's just make it a trip.
That's the National Mall, right? Behind you. That's what it's called, National Mall.
What?
National Mall, like the
Washington
whole.
Monument?
No, I know what the monument. Oh God, I know what the monument is called. I'm saying the land that it's on, like the park. I
Oh,
think it's
I
called
don't
the
know.
National Mall.
I just know we were taking a picture in front of the Washington Monument.
Yes, it is called the National Mall. Don't make me feel stupid. Um, I do that on my own. Um, the next one,
It's
I love
Justin from the
apples.
Matches. Yep, he wrote, "I love apples." I think someone wrote it on his hand. And I was like, "Oh, you love apples and Diet Coke."
Yeah, that the yellow rim around the can,
Yeah.
or is it just the lighting?
Now it's Yellow Room.
What the heck? Was that a special?
Might have been a special. I don't know.
Bring back the yellow can, Coke. No, I'm kidding. Don't. I don't care. Uh, all right. Who's flexing wearing something that looks like Peppa Pig?
That's Bill Bilson. Bill Bilson. He was a merch guy for a band. I can't remember which band. I want to say it was Scenes from a Movie, but I could be wrong.
I love the shorts.
He was hilarious. I loved Bill. He was rocking it. He was trying to get some he was trying to like, stay cool and get attention to,
Let's.
give
Is
him
he
a
still?
dollar.
He's still doing anything? I mean, I'm sure.
No, he is clean cut now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he changed. He doesn't
Darn.
look the same at all anymore.
No.
Doesn't do anything. I don't think he does anything in the music biz. He's got a wife and 3 kids, two of which are twin boys.
Wow.
Yep. We're still friends on Facebook.
Let's get him on. Let's have a conversation with him about his wild days.
I guess I could
See,
see.
see if he can wear those shorts again
Yeah, see if he still has those shorts.
and the pink fanny pack. I'm a fan.
I'll have to find him and show you a picture of what he looks like now.
All
And
right,
then the
next.
next one, that
Yeah,
is myself. My friend Margie is on the left side, and we actually just met the two. That's when we first met our friends Dana and Candace, who would, I mean, eventually become good friends of ours. They got invited onto the Steel Train tour bus, and we came with them randomly. And that's us eating matzah bread.
wow. It's the last bit that really throws me for a loop.
The matzah bread,
All right, who's got the mosh hoodie on?
the mosh hoodie.
Well, you only see Osh. I'm
Oh yeah, that's
presuming.
Dana. That's Dana. I also had a Mosh hoodie. I have Mosh booty shorts. I still own them. Still have them. Yep. And then my friend Heidi is on the right, and then the other one's Candace. She's the one that's the one that's forced me to listen to Taking Back Sunday against my will.
Force her to
What?
listen to something. I don't know. All right, and then we've got a huge group photo. I'm pretty sure I actually know this one.
Yeah, do you know this one?
MCS.
Yep, Motion
Yeah.
City soundtrack.
Yeah.
That was when they played at UW Milwaukee, I believe it was. It was a college show. And that's Beth underneath Matt. That was their merch girl. She was from Wisconsin area. Well, she is from Wisconsin.
I'm just gonna say like I don't know. The photos just feel so much more fun from back then. Like it just
Well, everyone just was like goofing off and stuff.
yeah, like a photo as opposed to like everybody whipping out their phone and being like,
Well,
let's get a
nowadays
picture, let's get a
everyone's
picture,
like,
let's get
I
a
don't want to
picture, let's
goof
get a picture.
off. They want to look good in their photo. You gotta look good for social media.
Nah, goof off. It's more fun and personable.
Yep.
All right, let's go the next two. We got more mustache. You've got a very Mario thing going on.
Yeah, that's when I had my hair cut short. I got a bob once. Never again will I ever have a bob. And that was like in a awkward phase when it was growing back. But yeah, no, that's me and my other jam girls. The Just Another Music Magazine girls. And of
OGJ.
course, just having fun. That was at a response show. And they were handing out random mustaches for some reason, for shits and giggles.
All right, and then we got a picture at a Denny's.
This is a Perkins in Madison.
Oh, I was close. Perkins
You were
Denny's.
close, and
Perkins isn't even around anymore, is it?
that is The Wedding, the band The Wedding. when Matt Shelton from Letter Kills became the singer. And we went and saw them and we were like, we're gonna buy you guys dinner. So we all went to Denny's and that was our family photo.
How come bands don't like want to let people buy them dinner or go out after shows anymore?
I don't know,
It's
'cause they
also
got older
business
and they
now.
just don't want to do it.
It's just also business now. Lighten up, guys. Damn, let's take you to Denny's and make bad decisions.
Right?
Um,
I would totally buy someone dinner on tour. I mean, that's why they call it starving artists, right? You know?
yeah, there was a time. Oh God, I can't remember what band it was. But someone was on stage up in Syracuse at the church venue we had, and he was like, "Yo, I just want to give a shout out to the Chinese place down the street because you can get a bowl of wonton soup for $1." He's like, "That's great for starving artists."
Yeah.
Um,
But it's
can't
funny in
remember
that
what
photo
band it
too.
was.
It's like I'm still friends with like Trevor on Facebook and everything, and like Cody, the one in the back, he's now like playing with Letter Kills. So it's kind of funny how like that turns around. Like Matt Shelton was
Yeah,
like singing for the wedding, and now Cody's playing
yeah.
for Letter Kills.
I'll go to my next two. I don't know what there's to say really about mine. I feel like mine are much more boring. So, before I show this next one to me, here's more pictures from a show of mine, and here's some more. All right, now that that's over, so this next one of me, I don't know. I'm just outside of my parents' house in the middle of a Syracuse winter. You can see my sister's sweet '97 Honda Civic with Euro tail lights in the background. It's that silver car right at the end of the driveway. And I have to say, this is a pretty mild winter because that snow is not very high. Um,
For
this was
Syracuse.
this was probably '06, winter of '06. Um, my next photo, I don't know, Comeback Kid. I got into Comeback Kid by actually going to a concert of theirs. And my friend was super into them. He's like, oh, let's go see. And it was a Comeback Kid and Every Time I Die show. And it was pretty sweet. It was a pretty great show. Bought merch from the show, and yeah, that's that shirt. And I decided to take a picture and cut off my nose. Apparently, um, look, I got a little scruff there. That's cute.
Yeah, you do. A little bit of scruff.
A little bit of scruff.
Do you have a butt chin?
Huh?
Do you have a butt chin?
I do a little bit.
Just a tiny little butt chin?
A tiny little butt.
Not a Tom Brady butt chin.
No, 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 no.
Tom Brady is a butt.
Now there's a clip we're gonna cut out and tag him in. All right, so let's go with your next four.
Since I have so many more photos, we're going with way more Jessica photos at one time.
Yeah, I'm almost through mine. You're pretty close yourself. So
Yeah.
we'll
My
go through
next one
six of
is when
yours.
I wore all my Brewers gear to Chicago, and me and my friend walked down Michigan Avenue, and there was just this Cubs display, and I was like, you know what? I need a photo in my Brewers gear in front of this Cubs stuff. So that's that one. And
And
then
now
my
there's
the
a
next one
fight
was
a fight at the Bean.
the fight at the Bean. Yeah, that was just us goofing off at the Bean. We goofed off a lot. We have a whole like set of these photos. That's my friend Jason again as well. But yeah, we had fun. Oh, and that's when I was like really into wearing leg warmers over my pants. I still would do it.
It's a good choice.
I mean, when you're going to concerts at night in the wintertime
Yep.
and you're only wearing like Chuck Taylors and skinny jeans, hell, I gotta keep them legs warm. But yeah, and the next photo is another one of the same acoustic set outside with the matches. And then, oh my gosh, a MySpace angle photo,
I know it's
profile photo.
very.
One of my very, I don't, few photos on here that are profile ones. Yep, that was when I went through my scarf phase.
Yeah, I was gonna say a Scarface.
I don't remember what were they called? They were called something else. They're not called scarves. There was a specific name for them.
Yeah, I don't.
And I cannot remember it. If my husband was in here, he would know what I'm talking about
Why would your husband know?
because he wore them too.
Oh, so that's how y'all met. It was over your
Yeah,
love of
that's totally how
scarves.
it meant. No, I'm pretty sure we met on Hot or Not as well.
Oh wow, you had an active profile on there for a while, huh?
Uh-huh. We originally met, I think, on Hot or Not, but then we like randomly met at a show and then lost touch for like 4 years and then reconnected through a Facebook friend. So, long story short.
All right, now we got somebody showing off their license.
Oh yeah, that's DJ from the band NHOI or Never Heard of It. He's showing off that he had crazy hair in his driver's license and he's reenacting it. But the funny thing is, throughout the years, he's gotten new licenses. He's done even crazier things in his
Oh
photos.
gosh,
I think I might have showed it to you before.
I can't
He's like
remember.
wearing like a fake beard in some of his stuff, and they just let him take these photos. I don't get it. But he's got multiple of them.
All right, and now we got some bros outside of a rusted station wagon.
Yeah, that was behind the bottom lounge, I believe. Some guys parked their vehicle where the band needed to get the heck out. And so they didn't know who the heck's car this was. And somehow they pushed it out of the way without no one being there. I don't know. It was like moving for some reason. And they
Well,
they pushed it enough out of the way that they could get out.
by the looks of it, the parking brake probably didn't work.
Probably not. But yeah,
um,
that's my friend Mario. I don't know who the other guy is, but I know the one on the right is Mario.
all right, I'll go through my next two. So my first one, I'm jumping in the hallway. I'm wearing my San Diego hoodie, so this must have been winter of '07, shortly after I came back from that trip. And the caption for this one, and if you know the quote, that'd be awesome, was "Look what I can do." If you know the reference, that is amazing. It is not a lyric.
I
Um,
remember this photo.
yeah, it was. I want to say I like smacked my hand into the door when I was taking it, and I definitely took more than one photo. This was not like a one shot take, but I really wanted one of me like being goofy, jumping and looking to the side, and I wanted to have. I specifically knew what caption I wanted and wanted to take a photo for the caption. So I kind of reverse engineered that photo. My next one, apparently it is near Christmas time, and that is me and my dog growing up. Her name was Peanut. She was a like medium sized dog, I would say. American Eskimo, little white floppy ears with a couple brown spots all over her. She was awesome. Um, and for some reason, she really liked. I have a lot of pictures of her and I. She was really photogenic. Um, and you can see here is the highlight of how far we have come with digital photography because look how washed out that flash made both my face and her being a white dog. You can't see any of her individual like fur strands. um I'm pretty sure even if I do it with my point and shoot I like just got, I'm pretty sure the photo processing is good enough to see some dog hair. I've only got three more, so let's power through some of yours,
Oh my
starting
gosh, I
with
have so many. Well, actually, I don't have that many left now.
let's start with cuddle time.
Cuddle Time, yeah, that's Andrew from Matchbook Romance. Yep. It was he was I don't know. I think he was drinking.
Makes sense.
But yeah, then the next photo, wow. Dan from Story of the Year. That was 2003 Warp Tour. First time I saw them at Warp Tour. That was the first time I think they really played a Story of the Year. Really, like Warp Tour. Yeah, that's when he was straight edge. He's not straight edge anymore.
Tisk tisk tisk.
And
No,
my
I'm kidding.
awesome, never heard of it tank top, because never heard of it was like spray painting people with stencils, and I had to do that.
Love it.
And the next one is me and the twins, Kyle and Evan, who were really good friends with the Never Heard of It boys. And this is in actually in Indiana, Southern Indiana. When we went to see a show they were putting on, well, a friend put on, and the Never Heard of It was playing that. It was a benefit show. And this is at the hotel that we were all staying at.
Nice.
I think it was a Motel 6, I
Wow.
believe. All I know is the ladies that cleaned the rooms were not happy when we left.
All
But this was a
right.
photo in the parking lot before we all scattered and headed home. But yeah, that's one of my favorite photos because those boys were fun. Still love them. Still friends with them on Facebook. And then next one's another group photo from the rave. I don't remember everyone's name in here. I know Candace and Tasha are in there. I think the one girl is Jessica as well. And then the girl in red was Bianca. And then I think pink bandana is Derek. And then Pat. Pet. They were all like 17 then, but I was like older than
Bunch
them.
of youngins in the old
And that was when
creeper.
I had my skirt over jeans phase.
Yeah, I was gonna say skirt over jeans with a black studded belt.
Yep, skirt over jean phase. I had some interesting wardrobe choices back then. And then we'll go to the next one. That was me and Jason from Stutterfly or Secret and Whisper or In the Arena, who we had on the podcast.
One of our
Yeah,
first interviews.
yeah, one of our first band interviews. But yeah, that's me and Jason. I think this was at the Bottom Lounge in Chicago. But yeah, we've stayed friends for a while too. You want to go to the next one?
Yeah, and then I'll jump to mine.
The next one is when myself and Margie we interviewed Joe, and I think his name was Kenny from Hidden in Plain View. He's not in the band anymore, but Joe is. I think his name was Kenny. I don't remember. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, that's when we interviewed them, and that was at the rave, I believe. And yeah, that was right after the interview because I always try to get photos of everyone after the interview to put on the website and all that. And that was after we talked about hidden talents, and Joe said his hidden talent was farting.
I love it. All right, so my next photo, I'm gonna go out of order a little bit. Uh, I've got mirror selfie in my parents' bathroom. I don't know what else there is to say. I got my 315 hardcore clothing on again, the brass knuckle shirt. I I honestly don't remember when this was. Um, '06, maybe early '07. I honestly cannot tell. I'm gonna say it's '06. Um, and then I'm gonna jump back up. I'm gonna save one for last. But I'm gonna jump back up. We got me and Chef Krabs. I won him from somewhere. I don't remember where, but I won him, and he started leaking beads very quickly. But he was one of my favorite stuffed animals that I've ever had. He was awesome. Um, there's a picture somewhere of the person I was dating at the time. If I can find it, I'll put it here. I think Kayla was like cuddling with him or like cheesing and smiling with him. If I can find that one, I'll put that one here too. Still kind of sort of friends with Kayla. Hey Kayla, if I send this to you, hi. Um, and there was this one. It was the forks. It was there was one where I threw like a a Hess toy truck spaceship. I can't even think of the words. I threw that one into the air, and so again, it was a lot of like suspension photos. Um, but yeah, I really liked Chef Krabs, and he made it to my profile picture. And I'm going to save the very last one after we go through some of yours.
Well, I have six more left, so
Yeah, let's power through, I don't know, four of them.
power through four of them. The picture with like the I don't know lilac background.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
with
would be
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. Yep, that's Tasha, and then Dana, Lane. I mean, that's Tom from Plain White Tees. We were hanging backstage
Love
because my
it.
friend Tasha got us backstage. She was really good at getting us backstage.
All right.
Um,
Now we got Paul Frank.
Paul Frank, that is that's Casey from Hawthorne Heights. Yep, that was one of the last photos. It was a joke we had. This is when they played a Navy Pier show when they were kind of smaller and hadn't quite gone crazy. But yeah, it was a free show at Navy Pier they did in Chicago. And we were there because, we're street teamers and all that. And they were handing out these balls because there was some other basketball thing going on. And so we started throwing them all at each other. And so then we had Casey put one in his mouth as a joke. And that was just funny. The funny thing was that I actually kept those balls, like I kept a couple of them, and bring them to a show once, and I threw one at him while we were playing on stage because we were backstage at a show at the Rave, and I threw one at him, and he turns around and he's like, "What the heck?" and he's just laughing. But yeah, fond memories of Casey. He was one of the guys in Hawthorne Heights that I think I was closest with when I would talk to him because he was very much so like wanted to chat with everyone. He's just a very personable guy. I never got close to any of the other guys. And it kind of sucks that, he passed away and everything.
Yeah.
But at least I have fond memories with him.
All right, and
And
now
then
you're
you
in
wanted me,
jail.
I'm in jail. Yeah, yeah. I think this was us waiting to get in for a show or something, or I don't remember. But I was just like sick of standing. So I was sitting down and my friends thought it would be funny. And they're like, haha, you look like you're in jail. And so, yeah, we took that photo. And then the next one is Matt from Motion City Soundtrack. And I mean, there's not much to say about that one. That's just me, Matt, Dana, and Candace again. Because I went to a lot of shows with them.
All right, and then my last one that I'll share. This was probably my one of my last profile pictures. Actually, you know what? No, I know I had more than this. Um, this was my group of friends that I went to California with. And our other friend Aaron actually took this picture. Oh man, look at those sweet shoes I'm wearing. Um, so we are on a beach in Encinitas, and we were just chilling in the middle of January watching the sunset. And Erin took the picture, and she's like, "It looks like an album cover for
I was
the
gonna say, it looks
worst."
like a
Yeah,
band pick.
she was like, "It looks like the worst band ever." I was like, "Yeah, probably would have been." So all the way on the left is my friend Kyle. In the middle is Nick, and then of course you've got me, and I think I'm wearing Bleed the Dream hoodie, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but yeah, that was a wild trip. I mean, we really had no plan and no money, but we still went out there anyway. Um, yeah, so that was my one. I'll call it like friend slash bro trip. Even though Aaron, you know, not a bro. But yeah,
Your friend
yep.
slash bro trip.
Yeah, that was a good trip. For many reasons. I could do a whole episode on that trip with crazy stories that happened. All right, let's go with your last two. We got a group photo.
This is actually us at a bear on a short stage. There was a stage right in front of us, and actually that's Joe from Lucky Boys, who Jeez, all these people I have pictures of, like, are people that have passed away. But it was Joe from Lucky Boys, and he took my camera and took a photo of us all standing there, having a good time. But yeah, that was a fun show. Every Lucky Boys show was fun though. And then my very last one is my most emo and scenish photo I have, I think. When I tried to have like, a little bit of a swoop myself. That's probably the closest thing I got to bangs back then, again, after freshman year of high school.
You got swoop and you did quite a bit of shadow there.
Yeah, a little bit. I had a thing going on. At some point, I was doing some eye makeup stuff where you put like the dark on the top and then a color underneath your eyelid.
Yeah, but notice you're also in a bathroom.
I am in a bathroom. Yep.
I feel like a lot of MySpace photos were in bathrooms
Bathrooms just have really good lighting.
and good mirrors
Yeah.
because for anyone who wasn't around during the time, there weren't front-facing cameras, so you had to take it blindly and hope that you were getting
Oh no,
a good
I had
frame.
my point and shoot that had the little thing, the little back that came out
Oh,
with the
dang,
screen
you
and
were
you could turn it around and
fancy.
you could turn it around
You were fancy. I
and take a
didn't have
selfie
one of
that
those.
way.
But but at the very beginning before that fancy technology came out, um you had to hope you had a good frame or you would go with the mirror shot.
Yep.
So,
With your point and shoot like time photo one, yeah. Where you had
yeah.
to take it in and put it in the photo to get developed. Those
Well,
took the worst photos though.
yeah,
I remember taking those disposable cameras to shows and taking pictures of bands with those cameras, and then I get them developed, and I'm like, well, can't barely see them.
well, the lens was equivalent to like what a smartphone camera is like as far as like width, so it didn't let in a lot of light.
Well, no, yeah,
Um,
and the flash on it wasn't long enough, anyways. It
yeah,
was like a quick flash.
either the flash wasn't long or it was like mistimed.
Yeah, but I worked in 1 hour photo when I was going to a lot of these concerts, so if I didn't like the photos, I just didn't print them. Charge
Cheating.
myself less.
But those are some of our highlighted MySpace photos. We can definitely do another episode just talking about MySpace instead of going through photos. Um,
But I do think we maybe will split this one in half.
we can definitely split it in half. But if anyone has stuck around this long, which according to my calculations may only like be Andre. Um, thanks, Andre, for sticking it out. But no, anyone else who's listened and stuck it out, thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening, and hopefully you enjoyed our